Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. With the international break still going on, there is some news. Regarding Chelsea, and it's some transfer news regarding an old and a new. So I'm going to be talking about Eden Hazard. Could he be returning to Chelsea? Tchouaméni, who we were linked with in the previous window, his name has resurfaced again. And I'll also be giving you some details on somebody who will be signing a new contract. So guys, we've not got long now until we get all these pointless internationals out of the way and we get back to the real football. Thibaut Courtois had a point yesterday when he said that we were playing all these pointless matches just so that UEFA can add money to their coffers. Because what was that fourth playoff about between Belgium and Italy in the European Nations Cup? It was just a waste of time. This isn't the World Cup or the Euros. What do you need a fourth place playoff for? And Belgium played a weakened side, as did Italy. But I'm going to be talking about a Belgium international now in the name of Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard left us a couple of seasons ago because he wanted to fulfill that dream of playing for Real Madrid. But that dream has turned into a nightmare for him because he hasn't had a great time since he's been there. A lot of the time has been blighted with injuries, and every break we seem to be having this same story. I'm sure I did a video about this a few months ago that he was thinking of making a bid to bring him back. But this one comes from a Spanish outlet, and it says that Roman Abramovich feels that if he comes back to Chelsea, he can turn him into a world-class player once again, because he hasn't been showing that sort of world-class ability at Real Madrid. And you know, it's got the fan base, you know, it's got them debating on whether we should get him back or whether we shouldn't get him back. Some people are saying his time is past, he's injured now, Chelsea got the best years out of him. Others are saying maybe it will work out. So where are you? You know, put your comments in the section below. Where are you on all this Eden Hazard? So do you think it's his ship sailed, his time's gone? Or do you think that if he comes back, then maybe that he can revitalise his career? You know, there's the twos and fro's, the twos and fro's, sorry. For me, you know, he's got Romelu Lukaku, who he gets on well with. He's settled at Chelsea, and he developed a great relationship with the fans as well as the players there. And maybe he feels more comfortable in this environment. His family loved it here. I know that had it been a decision for his wife and the kids, he would have probably stayed. They would have probably wanted him to stay, but they realised his dream of going to Real Madrid. So, you know, like a good family, they decided, you know, to allow him to fulfil that dream. So coming back to Chelsea, you know, he may turn out good, you know, in an environment that he thrives in. But a lot of people are saying that he's injured a lot now, and maybe we won't be able to get the best out of him. But you know what? That's what we thought about Robin as well. Remember when Arjen Robben left Chelsea because he had lots of injury problems? Same situation at Real Madrid. He never settled at Real Madrid. So a lot of fans were saying, you know, maybe we did make the right decision by selling him when we did. But once he moved to Bayern Munich, he carried on playing to what, 37? Well, you know, so he had a long career and not a lot of injuries later on in his career. So maybe that's what you'll find with Hazard. If he gets back to a medical staff who's used to him, used to his body, etc., maybe, just maybe, you know, we may be able to get that Eden Hazard back. And if we get that Eden Hazard back of 3 or 4 years ago, then it will be worthy. It'll be, you know, to play in any of the top sides. Yeah? if we don't get him as well, Newcastle may. You never know. So that's an interesting one. But I'm saying all this, but I just don't think that there's any legs in this story. I just think that the Spanish papers usually make up a lot of rumours because, like us, they're a bit bored. They need to fill their news, the back pages with some sports articles, and I just believe that this is one of those which isn't going to go anywhere. Moving on to the next story, this one may have some legs, this may go somewhere, because Chelsea were heavily linked with this guy in the summer window, and that's Tchouaméni. Chelsea looked at closely, but I think the board decided not to go with him just yet because they just felt that he needed an extra year in Ligue 1 just to see how his career would develop. I think they're probably looking at the situation that we had before with Bakayoko, where we bought him from the same club, Monaco, after a decent season, and it didn't quite work out for him at Chelsea. It could be because of injuries or other things, but for one reason or another, it didn't quite work out. So maybe the scene with Tchouaméni, is it just a one season wonder, or is he going to have another standout season for Monaco? And he's not disappointing again. He's been having an excellent season for Monaco. But a lot of fans who didn't know about him probably knew about him if they watched the semi-finals and the finals of the European Nations Cup, because he was outstanding. He came on as a sub, I think, in the semis, and he started in the last game, and he was very, very good. You know, I've watched this player a few times, so I do know his skill set. You know, he's a very intelligent at taking up positions. He's quite progressive when it comes to passing. He can do the box-to-box role. He's very athletic. He's got that strength and physique, so he's not brushed off the ball quick easily. So a midfield of him and Loftus-Cheek, that may be quite good actually, because you got that physique, that strength, and that both men can go box to box. You know, I'm not writing off any of our other players before anyone starts crying like the Abramoviches or Jorginhos or whatever, but I'm looking into the future, and maybe those two as a future midfield, you know, that'll be quite a nice balanced midfield when you throw in Mason Mount as well. So it's saying that a lot of clubs are looking at him, but Chelsea were trying to steal a march on with this one, and they've made some initial inquiries, and I think 30 to 40 million pounds is what's been bandied around. Again, what's your take on this Tchouaméni story? Stick your comments in the section below. Will you be excited to have him in the side? Do you know anything about him? You know, do you think that he'll do well for Chelsea, or do you think we should be looking elsewhere, like a Declan Rice, for instance, or somebody else? Yeah, just stick your comments in the section below. And our final story, we're looking at a couple of contracts. Christensen, there's talks that he's close to agreeing a new contract. I think it's around about 140 million a week, if I'm not mistaken. And so yeah, he's very close. You know, he's one of these guys who's established himself in the team now. And again, another one similar to Loftus-Cheek, who I spoke about earlier, who's shown with a bit of patience, perseverance, hard work, that as a academy player, you can make it into the first team if you're willing to wait for your opportunities. So that one's nearly done and dusted. But the Rudiger one's a little bit up in the air still, and some reports are saying that he was weighing up his options because he may want to try another adventure. I read yesterday or something where it said it's not about the money, it's about him wanting to try a new adventure in his career. He's 28, 29 now, and so maybe try another league. I know Real Madrid have been sniffing around him, PSG and others, so he may want to try another league. But there's some other reports that he's open to signing a new contract at Chelsea. So the longer it goes on without him signing, then the speculation is going to go on and on and on. So what do you think about this Rudiger story? Do you think we need to try at all costs to keep him, or would you not be too fussed if we let him go? You know, because couple of seasons ago, I'd have probably said, yeah, when he was under Frank and not really performing to high standards. But he's proved me and others wrong with his stand-up performances over the last couple of seasons. So for me, I think he's an integral part of our defence, and I'll try all that we can to keep him in at the club. So those are the stories today, and hopefully I'll be back on Thursday maybe, where I do the match preview of our upcoming game against Brentford. Unless there's other news, of course. If there's other news, I'll bring it to you on this channel. So until then, guys, remember to like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications to be notified every time I make a new video, and take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.